Everyone, will you listen to me for a minute?
Huh? What's wrong, Gemma? Why are you shouting?
Sorry, but while everyone is here at the hideout, I have something to say.
It must be important if it makes you look that serious. Come on, everyone. Listen to him.
Gemma always looks like that, though.
Don't worry about how I look. I'd like to reprimand Arashi for her violation.
Oh, I have something to say too. Don't leave your stuff in my personal space.
By personal space, do you mean what we agreed about when we merged Yuito and Kasane platoons?
The agreement was to have everyone keep their belongings in their own space, right?
Arashi, your stuff is all over the place. Your personal space seems to be growing.
Yeah, it's 3 centimeters bigger than it was yesterday.
Is that really a big deal, Shiden?
What's that supposed to mean?
It's not like we drew lines on the floor or something. There was never any rule about not expanding your space.
That's unfair, Arashi. This hideout is for everyone, so we have to use it fairly.
Then let's make a new rule. How about we have a contest? And if you win, I'll give the space back. If I win, I get half of the loser space.
Even though you took your extra space unfairly? That doesn't sound right.
What kind of contest? You mean with our powers?
No, how about a game instead? I just stumbled across a good one.
Wait, what? That's Final Jockey. That game was really popular in the OSF a long time ago. Hey, I made a name for myself as a genius jockey in Suo. You're sure about what you just said?
Of course I am.
All right, I'll be taking Arashi's space then. Don't come crying to me when you fall off your horse. No, it can't be. Me, the undefeated jockey genius Kagero, lost?
But Arashi, you cheated. You used hypervelocity to push the button faster.
Hey, that's just strategy. No one said you couldn't use your powers.
But just pushing the button fast drains stamina and you'll lose.
I got it. You glitched the game by pressing the buttons fast.
Ugh, you play dirty.
Say what you will, scrubs. If you don't like it, you can come face the true king of this unit. Me, with all the powers you have.
Then, how about facing me? I want more room for another planter. And I feel bad for Kagero.
Oh, me too! I want more space for my Baki collection.
I'll pass. I don't understand all that pew-pew stuff.
I'll sit out too. This is all so ridiculous. I'll just move Arashi's stuff with my psychokinesis.
I'll settle for watching as well. I enjoy physical exercise much more than virtual contests.
Okay, all right. The Fraser twins are in it to win it.
Now I'm involved in this? Let's just have a fair game.
How many people can play at once? I'll join if there's room for me.
This looks like fun. I want to play with everyone too.
I want to play too. Just hold on a second. Let me get my lucky bandana, then I'll pray. Okay, now my lucky power is fully charged.
I'll take you all on at once then. Let the games begin.
The Great Unit Space Cup has begun. Kagero and Luca here, bringing you coverage live.
Wait, me?
And the horses are out of the gates. Arashi is so fast. That hypervelocity is pushing it as fast as any pro.
First things first, we have to stop Arashi.
Wait, it looks like Yuito locked Arashi's buttons with his psychokinesis.
You've got a lot of guts going against me like that.
What? That great item I just got was completely wasted.
Arashi's playing dirty as expected. She used hypervelocity to push buttons on Yuito's controller.
Meanwhile, my angel Sugumi's horse seems to have stopped.
I didn't realize my horse's stamina was running out. Oh, I made the same mistake. I was furiously trying to push the button as fast as I could.
I guess the glitch doesn't occur when you rapidly push buttons without hypervelocity.
Also, Tsugumi and Hanabi's powers aren't suited for video games, putting them at a disadvantage.
They can just use their natural ability then.
Oh, Shiden is creeping up on Arashi while she tries slowing down Yuito.
Take a banana peel!
Huh? Shiden's character suddenly stopped moving.
What? What's happening? Move! Move!
Shiden must have accidentally let an electrical surge through to the controller. It's broken.
I see. Makes sense considering how careless he is.
What did you say, Kagero?
Oh, the Fraser twins are throwing items at each other. They both look very angry.
What are those two doing?
Maybe they're having a telepathic argument.
I see. There's no telling what they're saying, but it seems very serious.
That's right. Haruka is totally evil.
Oh, shut up. You're the one that said I sucked just because I messed up the controls a little. I didn't even want to play this stupid game, but you had to get me involved with your telepathy.
Back to the race. It seems like Arashi and Major Kyoka are still in it?
They are very far apart, though. At this rate.
What's this? Did a secret invulnerability carrot just appear? Kyoka used it!
Huh? My horse is glowing after getting that carrot thing.
Major, dash! Bump into Arashi!
Huh? What? What's going on?
Wow. Kyoka's horse flung Arashi's horse away.
Then I'll be taking this unit space. I'll be splitting it up amongst everyone evenly. That's an end to this violation thing. No more arguing, got it?
Hey, let's do it again, but with no powers. This game is really fun. Come on, Luca, you too.
Me? Well, I guess I could give it a try.
Everyone's having a blast. That game may be old, but it sure has value.
Yeah.
Recreation is important after all.
You're really good at games, Arashi. I doubt I could beat you even if you didn't use your power.
Yeah, but she lost to a novice gamer like Kyoka.
Wait, so Kasane, you saw right through it?
Huh? What do you mean?
Arashi, Kyoka, and Gemma were in cahoots.
Sorry. We now have different groups joining together to fight, which can be awkward.
Kyoka also said it'd be a good opportunity to get used to each other.
Gemma and I have caused problems before, so we wanted to help everyone get along to make up for it. That's why Arashi risked being the target for revenge. We figured the group would cooperate against a common enemy.
It wasn't that big of a deal. If everyone works well together, then I can slack off even more.
So, you laid your stuff out all over on purpose?
No, she's been messy since before we hooked up with your platoon.
Kagero seemed to have noticed our ploy too.
Yeah, he joined the game right away. He's in a neutral position and is pretty clever.
I guess mission accomplished then. Everyone had a blast. I did too.
Right? Even I was having fun after noticing it was all set up.
Yes, it was fun just watching.
Yeah, it was almost like a family reunion or something.
How about another round? With Kasane and Gemma playing this time. I'm actually feeling up to it today.
I guess I'll give in just this once.
How about it, Kasane?
Okay, but I'll be taking the win. I guess I should talk to Kagero. Hanabi, Tsugumi, do you have a second?
Kasane, do you need something?
I was going to go into town, and I thought you two would like to join me.
Sounds great. Let's go. But it's pretty rare for you to invite us.
I figured I should once in a while since you're always inviting me out. Besides, I need a break.
Are you tired, Kasane?
Not physically. My mind's just been occupied.
sounds to me like you're stressed. We've been fighting constantly after all.
You think so? I don't feel stressed.
Sometimes it creeps up on you. Anyway, let's go to a cafe and talk. This cappuccino is the best. How's your tea, Tsugumi? Delicious. I can really taste the herbs. You feel better, Kasane?
I think you were right. I never felt stressed from our everyday activities before.
Did something happen recently? I hear that a change in routine could lead to stress.
I suppose there's been some change since Naomi.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring that up.
It's okay. It was a good question. It's the biggest change in my life.
You were always together in the academy. I was jealous since I'm an only child. Me too.
Naomi was always thinking about me, and I always relied on her.
She was so considerate. I get why you relied on her. I hate to say it, but maybe the reason you're not up to form is because you're not used to living without her yet.
That could be it. She did a lot for me.
Like what?
The shopping and talking to people. She pretty much picked out my outfits and told me what to eat.
I guess you were never interested in those things.
Yeah, but I'm sure she did it all for me because someone needed to.
Then maybe we can help you. I mean, we could never replace Naomi. But I think we can help until you get used to things. Yes, I can help too. I mean, I do have seniority.
Can I really ask you to do that? It's my problem. I think I should take care of it myself.
Don't worry about that. Leave it to us. Yeah, leave it to us.
Okay, I'll take you up on that.
Yes! Let's go shopping first. I'll help you buy clothes. Then I'll pick out the food. I'll look for something organic and healthy.
Sounds like it's going to take a lot of time.
That's part of shopping. Now let's go. What a haul. I'm glad they deliver, because that was way too much to carry.
It was more than I thought. Are clothes that necessary?
I think we may have bought a little too much. I couldn't help it. Kasane looked good in everything. Anyway, it'll be good to have more options.
Yes, and I had more fun than I imagined picking out my own clothes.
You have interesting taste. It's unique, to say the least. Anyway, that's who you are. Whatever I pick just looked too normal.
Naomi said normal clothes are also important, so it was really helpful.
Thanks. What do you want to do next? We still have time. Want to get tea somewhere? Oh, there's somewhere I want to take you. It's a little far, but we can relax when we get there.
Where is it?
Around Mizagawa, there's a spot by the lake surrounded by trees. I wanted to drink the herbal tea we bought there. Really an idea. A tea party by the lake sounds amazing. You can leave the hot water to me. Yeah, I brought a thermos and cups.
Aren't you prepared? Okay, let's go then.
It's right through here. We'll have to battle others before we get to have tea, though.
No problem.
A little workout before tea time? Piece of cake. The three of us can do anything.
It disappeared. Use SAS to find out where it'll attack from. Burn it!
Got it! Useless. It's over.
That was impressive. Tsugumi, you both always do your own shopping, right?
Yeah, I go with friends a lot though. I guess I buy sporting goods on the net. I buy lots of gardening tools. I get Kagura when it's too heavy.
I can't remember ever going shopping without my sister. I realize now how much I relied on her. I found something. Tsugumi's clairvoyance should help.
Hanami, fire! Let's go, Kyoka! Check.
If I get the timing right,
I'll do it!
I might be able to use the construction equipment around here for an attack.
Got it! Check.
That was impressive.
You can trust me.
I confirmed your water attack. Are you okay? Being wet makes it hard to move.
I'll do it!
Don't fail.
Kasane, the enemy is stunned and can't move.
Got it! Check.
Kasane. I'll fight with you.
Don't let your guard down. We can't see it, but that other is still nearby. Find its location with SAS. Hey, that other!
Got it! It's over.
It's the one we're supposed to take down. You burned it good. It looks hot.
Burn it.
It's working. Focus on that spot. If your body catches fire, it's gonna keep hurting you. Be careful.
We'll corner
That
it.
was a good one.
Get rid of them.
We were perfectly in sync.
Focus and attack.
I didn't think we'd be so compatible. Let's keep this going.
Let's go, Kagura. Help me, Gemma. Let's go, Tsugumi. There! Grab it! There!
I feel stronger when I fight with you. I feel the same way.
The spot you told us about is just ahead, right? Any others around? It should be okay. I just checked. There aren't any others or people around.
People? Do people come here sometimes?
Arashi occasionally comes here to slack off.
I guess it's a pretty popular spot. If Arashi uses it, it must be comfortable. How relaxing. This is a wonderful spot, Tsugumi. How did you find it?
Sometimes I look around using my clairvoyance and find these quiet spots surrounded by plants where I can really relax.
That describes this place perfectly. Relaxing. The tea smells nice as well. Naomi made me good tea, but this is a different flavor. It really perks up your senses.
I'm glad you like it. I tried to pick a good one for you.
I saw you really focused at the tea shop. I wasn't sure if I should say anything.
I was peeking at the contents and comparing their quality. I picked the one that seemed the best.
So these are the best tea leaves as determined by a pro. Thank you, Professor Tsugumi.
You're welcome.
You two really helped me out today. All my stress seems to have gone away.
I'm glad we could help. I mean, all we did was shop together and have some tea.
Yeah, we didn't really do much. We had fun, too.
I enjoyed myself as well, but I am looking at my life a little differently now.
Huh? What do you mean?
I thought I had the essentials on my own, but I realize that's not the case. I need to be more self-sufficient in order to get used to my life now.
Well, I think that's admirable. I don't think you need to get so worked up about it.
I agree. You're already so capable.
I don't know about that. I would have been totally lost shopping without the two of you.
Everyone's like that starting out. I mean, I still get easily flustered. But I feel like you're allowed to a little. I don't think there's anyone who can do everything perfectly.
Yeah, even Naomi said you helped her countless times.
She did?
Yeah, she said you gave her courage. You know how she was a little reserved.
Yes. I was always telling her things will be okay.
See? We'll help you again whenever you need us.
Yeah, that's what friends are for.
Thanks, you two. I'll be the one to help you next time.
In that case, could you come shopping with me after this?
You're going to shop even more? I saw you buying a lot for yourself when you were looking at clothes for Kasane.
I mean, I saw some cute plates at one of the stores we passed. They might disappear if I don't buy them now.
Okay. I'll make sure you don't buy anything you don't need.
What? That's how you're going to help me?
Self-control is also important.
Now, let's go.
Oh, Kasane.
So, you're not scared to talk to me anymore?
No, I wanted to talk to you.
I wanted to talk to you too. Great minds think alike, right?
Yeah, I guess this is what friends are like.
We've been friends for a while, Tsugumi.
I feel even more comfortable with you than before. It's relaxing.
I want to help you when you need it, Kasane. I always want to be there for you.
Tsugumi.
Some of them don't like much water, so be careful.
Different plants need different things. Makes sense. Like cacti, right?
Each of them is unique, but they're better for it. I admire them. So think about the amount of water you would need for your flowers, and make sure you... Are you listening to me, Kagura?
Yep, you know very well that I'd never miss a word my beloved Tsugumi says.
Okay, but I'm going to be mad if you don't put this all to use.
I know. Leave it to your guy Kaguro.
You talk a lot with Tsugumi. You aren't going to ask her out on a date.
Oh, are you jealous? It seems like I'm back in the game after 2,000 years.
I'm starting to understand. Do you see Tsugumi and me as replacements for your daughter?
Oh, I know. Want to help me with an errand?
Don't change the subject.
A good woman doesn't point that out. I want to go clean up an old hideout I used to use.
An old hideout?
Yeah, it's a place I used to lay low back when I was doing my spy work. There should still be a lot of inside information and classified data on Togetsu, so I thought I might as well grab it all.
That might actually be of use to the government when handling them in the future.
It's not for the government. I just wanted to do my part when it comes to them.
Okay, I'll help. Where is it?
Kikuchiba, let's get going.
I'll send you the coordinates to the hideout. We'll head there. I just know there's going to be others.
The last time we came here, you said the city was haunted.
Oh yeah. It just reminded me of myself. Sadness of being left behind. Yeah, just being lost. Come on, let's go.
I'll do it! Check.
With that oil, it'll be hard to move if it gets on you, so be careful.
Do it.
That seems to be the spot.
Got it! Check.
Not yet.
Let's keep going.
Leave nothing!
Hanami, fire! This is what I see.
Go!
I'll do it! It's over!
Oh, that looks like our target.
Let's keep going. Good.
It's down. Let's finish it. I trust you, Kasane. Leave the rest to me. Help me, Shiden.
did it.
Nice job, Kasane.
I found something. There's something over there.
Don't fail.
Take them out quick.
Let's do this.
Enemy is stunned.
Useless. Check.
Kasane!
I'll follow up.
Come on.
It's down. Let's finish it.
Got it.
Aim for that spot.
What I see.
Shoot it down!
I trust you, Kasane. Useless. Check.
Hey, about our last conversation,
What?
we were in Mizuagawa. You were telling me to do something meaningful? Well, I've been thinking about it ever since then, but nothing really comes to mind. Once we stopped Togetsu's plan, I felt like I fulfilled my role. I was thinking, it might be time for a ghost from the past like me to move on.
Listen, that was the old you who fulfilled his role. We still need Kagero in the here and now.
I don't know if you've realized, but Kagero doesn't even exist.
What do you mean?
On the moon and in Togetsu, I was called Shin Daniel. Kagero Dawn is just a pseudonym. That name is a shimmer that doesn't exist.
Maybe that's true for you, but for us, it's different. Whatever your real name might be, the Kagero Dawn we've known in the OSF isn't a ghost. And when you were talking fondly with Tsugumi, you didn't look like a ghost then. What Tsugumi and the rest of us need is you. We don't need some stranger from the past.
How is it that you've become this wise at your young age? I'm seriously impressed with you. Yeah, if people need Kagero Dawn, then maybe I don't have to feel so empty after all. Perhaps it's time I put my past self to rest and started focusing on the present. I guess I'll need to clean up my old haunts first. We're almost to the hideout. Let's go.
Oh, that looks like our target.
Good. Not yet. Let's keep going.
It dropped something rare.
Nice job, Kasane.
The hideout should be around here. Why did you make one in such a dangerous place?
Because the more dangerous a place is, the easier it is to hide.
I have no other choice. I can do this.
Besides, I can avoid most danger by going invisible.
Then you could have just come here by yourself today.
I've been alone for 2,000 years. I get lonely when I'm just by myself. Hey, wait! I was joking! Don't leave me! So we're going to settle it.
Too slow. We did it.
You're gonna stop me?
We finally made it. I know it's shabby, but make yourself comfortable. Actually, something seems off.
It's pretty messy. Do you think someone broke in?
Seems like it. Wait here. Let me take a look around. Dang. All the data's either been taken or destroyed. Most likely Togetsu. They probably felt the need to clean things up when they realized I turned on them. I figured they would.
Why come all the way out here if you predicted this would happen?
Well, I wanted to confirm my suspicions and also grab some of my personal belongings. Tsukumi.
Did you find something? Is that a picture? It looks ripped.
Oh, yeah, it's an old photo.
Is it of your family? If we find the other pieces, we might be able to restore it.
No, it's okay. It's not like this is the only photo I have.
But it's important to you.
What's important are the memories. Don't you remember what you said to me? It's because of the important things we've lost that we have to live on. And I think now is the time I need to get my act together and keep moving forward. If I keep dragging this on the way I've been doing until now, then I'm sure I'll start upsetting everyone.
Okay, if you're fine with that.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Talking with you helped me realize a lot of things.
You said you were going to move forward. What are you planning on doing?
First, I'll settle things with my past. As someone who's worked with Togetsu, I have a responsibility to deal with Babe and Karin. I have to see the things we started to the very end. Then I'll finally be able to put my past to bed.
And when that's done?
After that, well, I'll think about a new life. How I'll live, what I can do.
I think that sounds good. At least you don't sound as lame as you did before.
Well, well. It seems like you've come to appreciate my newfound sense of maturity. If you'd like to go out on a date...
It might be a while before you find this new life of yours.
What is that supposed to mean?
These dates are your way of connecting with your daughter. To be the father you never could be.
Well, gosh, I keep telling you that you shouldn't be saying these things out loud. I guess I preferred it more when I was just the creepy old guy asking a young girl out on a date. That work?
Okay, so... Daddy Kagero?
Let's drop the daddy bit. I don't think my fragile heart can take it.
Looks like he's back to being his old self. That might be for the best.
Kasane, wanna go get a drink together?
That sounds good. I was looking to take a break.
Great. Let's go to Masubi's then. What? You've never played baseball?
No. Is it really that surprising?
I can't picture you swinging a bat. I know. We should go to the batting cage.
You just hit the balls as they're thrown to you, right? Do you go often?
I do. It feels so awesome when you whack the ball as hard as you can. Like after something bad happened, or you're feeling frustrated, mostly when you need a release.
Seems like something happened. I'm here if you want to talk.
Really? Actually...
It's about Yuito, isn't it? That boy is such a player.
Yes, it's about Yuito. Wait, hold on. Kagero?
Are you okay, Hanabi? You can talk to me before you go and take it out on those baseballs.
Don't you have any better way of entering the room?
Sorry, I've been struggling with this problem. Then I saw you two angels.
Can't you say hello like a normal person? You startled me. So, what seems to be your problem?
Please listen to this. Dr. Hanabi, Dr. Kasane.
I didn't say I would help yet.
Come on, please. So, I wanted to give Tsugumi a surprise gift.
A gift for Tsugumi? Is her birthday coming up?
No, nothing like that. I just wanted to thank her for what she does every day. And she's been acting really tired lately. I want to cheer her up.
You really are considerate when it comes to her.
What are you talking about? I'm considerate with everyone.
Let's stay on topic. So in other words, you're wondering what gift to give Tsugumi.
Exactly. I have no idea what youngsters are into these days. So I thought I would ask you two ladies for your guidance.
Let's see. She isn't exactly the kind of girl with a lot of wants. I think she would enjoy plants.
Plants? Oh, I just remembered something. She mentioned she started research on moss. I'm supposed to tell her if I find some good moss.
Moss? Like fluffy, damp moss? My Tsugumi sure is obsessed with plants.
She isn't yours. Here we go. What about this? Rainbow moss. Moss with a rainbow spectrum of colors. They were sighted in the abandoned subway.
Let me see. Oh, not bad. I bet she would love this. I'll head over there now. Thanks, you two.
Wait, Kagero. We'll come help. Right, Kasane?
Yes. The abandoned subway is filled with others, not just moss. It's dangerous to go alone.
I'd be fine on my own, but I guess I don't have a reason to refuse any help. Let's all go moss hunting then.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. For being nice to Tsugumi. I was really worried. She's so quiet. She gets misunderstood a lot, too. We only did what anyone would. I'm glad she's getting more comfortable.
Guys, it's over. Yeah, I was just being normal too. No need to thank me.
I'll do it!
The resource reading is close. Should we get it?
Let's do this.
Let's break through!
Let's keep going.
I dropped something rare. This is pretty good. I should use Hanabi's pyrokinesis.
I trust you!
Let's do this.
Take him out quick. Nice fire! You got this!
Useless. Checkmate.
It's working! Focus on that spot!
Checkmate.
You got this.
Burn it!
Let's go, Joker.
The enemy is attacking with electricity.
Guys.
You'll be shocked and unable to move if it hits you.
We did it. Checkmate.
You'll need to break its outer shell. Kasane, use your psychokinesis and hit it with something heavy. With that oil, it'll be hard to move if it gets on you.
Useless. It's over.
So be careful. The attack hit the enemy's outer shell. You might be able to break it.
You're a genius.
Checkmate.
Still no.
That was quick.
I trust you, Kasane.
Burn it down! Burn it! Follow up while the enemy is burning.
More power.
Let's use breathe!
Got it. It's over.
Nice.
Got it. Checkmate. Hanami, fire! Let's go, Kyoka.
Oh, that looks like our target.
Useless. It's over.
Whoa! Nice!
Got it.
We took down the requested target. There's still more, so we have to keep...
I don't think I need to go that way now.
You really seem to care about Tsugumi, Kagero.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't help but worry about her.
Does that have something to do with your family?
Whoa, Hanabi. Getting to the heart of the matter. You're right. Sometimes she reminds me of her. But it's not that I see Tsugumi as a replacement for my daughter.
I see. I'm glad you told me about it. I've been wondering about that for a while.
She really is important to me. Is that creepy to say?
Not at all. It's nice. Because you actually seem human when you're talking about her.
That makes it sound like you think he isn't normally a human. Although, I get what you're saying.
What? You both are so mean. Hey, you just laughed at me, didn't you, Kasane? I saw that.
Shh. Look over there.
Now you're ignoring me? Give me a break. Oh, isn't that...
Isn't that the rainbow moss? That was so easy to find.
Looks like that's not all we found. Ready?
Of course.
Let's take out this scum and collect that rainbow moss.
Now's the time to use it.
Power bubble!
I'll do it. It's over.
Bring up inside me!
Useless. Checkmate. Go! I'll do it.
My head feels clear.
It's over.
I'll track you down and kill you!
Go!
You're just going to die! I feel power bubbling up inside me!
That was close.
It really was.
What's your deal? Those guys were a piece of cake.
I was worried the rainbow moss was gonna get smooshed.
I know you were worried about that too, Kagero.
You see right through me. Okay, ready to go grab it and go home? But moss, huh? I guess if you live long enough, the day will come when you even give moss as a gift to someone special.
The moss is so pretty up close. It sparkles. Tsugumi will love it.
Yeah, as long as it makes her happy. Thanks for your help, you two.
You're surprisingly honest today.
I was just thinking how lucky I am to have such great friends like you and Tsugumi. You mentioned being normal earlier, Hanabi. I think that's really important. Especially now when anything could happen in this world. It's one of the first things you lose. It's really great to be together without any ulterior motives or worrying about trade-offs. I didn't have anyone like that when I was in Togetsu. You two, never forget to treasure the people you have.
Kagero.
I'll try to remember that.
Ah, never mind, forget about it. It's not like me to give depressing lectures.
No, I'm never going to forget this. I'll be sure to keep my friends close. That includes you too, Kagero.
No, you don't need to care about me that much. I mean, I'm a grown-up. A real, big grown-up.
Hey, don't say not to care even as a joke. You know we'd be devastated if something happened to you. Think of Tsugumi.
You're such a good girl, Hanabi. Yuito's a lucky dog to have someone like you be in love with him.
Why'd you bring him up?
I didn't tell him anything.
It's so obvious. Wait, did you think nobody knew?
What?
Alright, let's head back. I can't wait to give this to Tsugumi.
Yes, I'm looking forward to her reaction.
Hey, what do you want to do with your life?
That's pretty deep for just a chat.
Oh, then maybe we should have a full debate about it. Just kidding. I'm sure you don't want to talk about that with an old man.
Fine, let's talk about it. I know that you really take that kind of stuff seriously.
Kasane, you know... Yeah, thanks. You're the only one I can talk to about this.
Kasane, if you get a boyfriend, you have to introduce me. If he's too childish, I'll whip him into shape.
I don't think I'll ever find someone like that, but I appreciate that you're worried about me.
Kagero, I want to ask you something. Sorry, I see you're busy.
This is a masterpiece. Oh, what is it, Kasane?
You look like you're having fun. What were you watching?
Do you want to know? Do you really? If you really do, then I guess I can tell you.
Not really.
Don't be like that. I probably don't even need to tell you. A girl your age must know more than me. It's Retread, a short vision share service. Those vision idols use it too.
Retread?
Vision idols?
You're kidding me, right? Gemma, I understand, but I can't believe you don't know Kasane.
Never heard of it. Am I missing something not knowing about it?
It's not that bad, but if you don't know what's hot, you'll get behind the times, or be uncool.
Behind the times? Uncool?
I don't care if people think that about me.
Right. Okay, I'll take care of this.
You're getting another one of your ideas, aren't you?
No, this is different. Listen, Kasane, we protect the city. No, we protect the people. Knowing the people you protect is the most basic duty of all. Like what's trendy or what people are into.
Well, yeah.
That makes sense.
Right? So let's go out on the town.
Huh?
I'll teach you about youth culture myself.
No need to inconvenience yourself. I can look it up. You're busy too, right, Gemma?
It's not often people teach me things at this age. This might turn out to be a good opportunity.
Okay, that's that. Let's go right now. First things first, we're going to a live viewing of the top vision idols right now, and you're in luck.
We are?
The tickets always sell out in 5 seconds or so, but today is a free broadcast. It's a miracle.
You know a lot.
I've made a habit doing research to fit into the times. It was kind of a rush job, but I know as much as any fan.
I should learn from that attitude.
Watch and learn. Oh, it's about to start. Let's go. It's right over there. Looks like it just started. These are the most popular idols right now. They're a duo, and the setup is that they're brothers.
The setup?
Of course, there are people inside, too. That kind of fuzzy boundary is part of the fun.
People inside? There are people inside the people? I don't get it.
Going too fast for you? That's enough lecturing for now. Let's see the real thing. Look around you. See everyone dancing together? They sync their movements with the idols. Looks fun, doesn't it? You do this, then this. Wait, no, this. That's about right.
Are those really the right moves?
Like this?
Guess I don't have a choice.
Yeah, that's it. If we dressed like twins, it would be perfect.
Dressed like twins?
Yeah, friends dressing up like the idols and coming to the concerts is super hot right now. I brought these for the two of you today.
Why am I dressing up with Gemma? It's a male duo, so it should be you and him.
Me and Gemma? Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Please take it easy on me.
Just don't get arrested.
Next, we'll rest at the cafe, which is perfect because I'm thirsty.
Gemma, you were really shouting at the end of the concert.
Hang on, though, this is no simple break. This cafe is our second objective.
What, here?
Yep, we're ordering their famous Unicorn Dream Parfait and taking a short vision.
What is a unicorn dream parfait?
Let's practice a bit before it gets here. Now is the time for the Retread I told you about to shine. We're taking a cool vision with this parfait as the centerpiece. Where's the record button? This one? Wait, it's this one.
People have to be in it too? Gemma, Is everything okay?
We're not taking pictures?
Oh, Gemma. Mixing and sharing short movies like this is what's trendy nowadays.
Mix? Share?
Leave it to me. Where should we put the music? This is harder than I thought.
The unicorn parfait is here.
It's Unicorn Dream Parfait, Kasane.
Unicorn dream parfait. So now we video this?
Yeah, but the practice kinda wore me out. Let's just eat it. I wanted to do something really cool, but it didn't go how I wanted it to.
What are you saying? You really showed me something with all those words I didn't know.
Well, I have the knowledge, but nothing more than that. I don't have nearly enough experience. I realize now I only thought I knew everything. What a bummer.
I've wanted to say this for a while, but I don't think getting depressed like that is very constructive. It's not bad to know young people, but what you two...
Uh-oh. We don't have time to be eating this parfait. You can tell me the rest later, Kasane.
This is no time to be tired.
Yeah, save this for later. Let's focus on protecting the city.
We'll corner it. I confirmed a water attack. Are you okay? Being wet makes it hard to move.
Useless. I'll do it! It's over.
Finish it, Kasane!
Show me.
Got it!
I feel like those moves from the concert made their way to the battlefield somehow.
It's just your imagination.
Good, good. Next, we should fight
Useless. It's over.
the triplets.
I'll pass.
Leave the rest to me. Got it! Checkmate.
That other is the one we're after. What do you want to do?
Time to fly,
Need to deal with the fire.
Help me, Shiden. Let's go, Kyoka. Aim for that spot. Enemy is done.
Not bad.
Sis?
If your body catches fire, it's gonna keep hurting you. Be careful.
I'll help you. Rain drive.
Let's do this! Now die! Ah!
It's over. And we managed to keep the casualties to a minimum. I'm glad we came to the city.
Yeah. I still don't understand youth culture, but I have to protect the lives of the youth in this city.
Yeah. So let's go to the after party.
It's still going?
Cheers! That hits the spot.
Yeah, especially after today.
I'm glad we're at a quiet place.
Trying something new is pretty exhausting.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tired. But encountering all this youth culture makes me feel younger. You can't beat talking in a nice, quiet place, though.
My body may be young, but I don't feel that way. Acting my age fits me best.
Uh-oh, we're starting to sound like old men. Kasane will get bored.
No, I won't. Living as long as you two have must feel really special. It's important to know young people, but I'm more interested in your experiences.
Is that what you were trying to say before the battle started?
Yes. I don't think you should be depressed. You've been alive a long time, which means you know about a lot of things. You shouldn't try to force yourself to fit in with the times. I want to know about you two more than I want to know about young people.
Kasane,
That's nice of you to say.
you want to know us that badly? So, what do you want to know?
Well, what was your favorite food and drink when you were young?
Oh, what was it called? It was a canned drink called Cheers. We're from slightly different times, so you might not know it, Gemma.
No, I know it. At some point, it just disappeared from vending machines.
No way, you know it? I loved that soccer player that was in the commercials.
It was so long ago that I barely remember it, but that catchphrase was popular. You know the one. I don't want to lose, so I cheers.
Wow, I haven't heard that in so long.
You sounded just like him.
Like this. Raise both your hands up high. Like this, Kasane.
Yeah, I still don't know what you're talking about.
Right. That player died before you were born.
They don't sell cheers anymore either.
Wow. I can't believe I remembered that old drink.
Thinking about the past can actually make you feel young, too.
That's true. I guess there's no need to force myself to fit in, but...
I get it. You get worried. You never know when you're going to die. Could even be today.
if you don't learn things and leave your mark before that happens, it just feels like a waste.
You feel like you'll get left behind if you don't keep struggling.
If you two get left behind the times, I'll drag you along with me, so don't worry.
You're one to talk. You didn't even know about vision idols.
That has nothing to do with it.
Let's stop making her worry, Kagero.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm still totally hip.
Hip?
These youngsters still have nothing on me.
Work in an at-home atmosphere. Don't you think that sounds fishy?
Yeah, work is still work. That line between home and work life is important.
I do feel like everyone is more than just colleagues. You too, Kasane.
Sorry, not interested.
That's so mean. You want to end our relationship? Oh, I see that smile. Hey.
My life has had a lot of ups and downs, but I was lucky to meet you, Kasane.
I feel very lucky that I met you and can talk to you like this.
Kasane, the Togetsu agents contacted me. I was instructed to go to these coordinates located on Hieno Mountain. I plan to lure them out and gather intel. Will you come with me?
Yes, of course. But there will be two of us, so wouldn't it be easier to just round them up and capture them?
It depends on what they do. First, let's go where they asked me to and wait for them to show themselves.
Okay, let's head to Hieno Mountain.
The coordinates are just up ahead. Let's keep going. Do you still have doubts about your existence? Not as much thanks to you. However, we should focus on the task at hand.
This is what I think. I'll follow up. The enemy is attacking with electricity. You'll be shocked and unable to move if it hits you.
I'll do it! Check me.
It feels like you can fully demonstrate your power when you're with me.
You're right, Arashi.
It's over. It'll be fine. I have it.
way.
Got it! Check.
I trust you!
We did it.
Be on guard.
Burn it. Leave the rest to me.
Kasane, I know my power will help.
I'll do it. It's over.
That other attacks with explosions. It's dangerous to get close.
Let's go, Tsugumi.
That seems to be the spot. It dropped something rare.
Please move back.
I feel reborn.
Let's go, Kagero.
Leave nothing. You got this. Sis?
Time to fly, Arashi.
It's so efficient when the two of us work together.
Let's do this.
You're right, Arashi.
Not yet.
I'll fight with you. Goodbye.
Aim for that spot.
Hanabi, fire. Help me, Gemma.
Now, you burned it good. It looks hot. There's a resource reading that's close.
Beat it.
That other is our target.
Let's fly. Let's keep
Your
going.
finisher was good, Kasane.
Let's keep going. Go. I'll kill you!
It's around here. You should hide until they show themselves. All right. Wait. Something's coming this way.
Take him
With that oil, it'll be hard to move if it gets on you, so
Cut the noise.
be careful. What? This time,
Got it! Check me.
really suspicious. Do you think they saw through our plan? No, they never planned for it to be bad for purpose. What they need are remembrance. Their plan was to keep
Useless.
take my brain.
Got it! Check me.
Well, I'm not going to let that happen. You'll need to break its outer shell. Kasane, use your psychokinesis and hit it with something heavy.
I have no other choice. I can do this.
I'll crush you with my field.
I'll do it. It's over.
The trash needs to be taken out.
We did it.
You're gonna stop me?
To it. Go. Now. Got you. Good.
I feel power bubbling up.
That seems to be the last of them. No, not yet. I know you're there. Come out. I wouldn't have called out if we weren't ready for you. Now, it's time to talk. It looks like you're the only one here. Her face is identical to yours. I suspected it. You're also one of the design children. Just so you know, restoring Babe's data is impossible, even with Dr. Pope's knowledge of neuroscience. I'm sorry you wasted your time. Impudent fool. What do you mean? Vain confidence is not advised in this situation. We do not need the knowledge or the technology. We need your brain. The only brain that holds Dr. Pope's memories. You were going to use my brain to build a new Babe. Huh? Babe prepared contingency plans for all scenarios. The current situation is just one of those. If the mainframe goes down, we use a spare. Togetsu merely needs to carry out the plan faithfully. I feel sorry for you. There isn't anyone to give you orders anymore. Yet you still obey. You have nowhere else to go. You don't know any other way to live. You can only carry out your orders. You should be feeling sorry for yourself. What did you say? As long as I am serving a higher purpose, I can live happily, without worry or hesitation. What about you? You lost your purpose and your value, doomed to live a scared and anxious life. You were listening in on us? I do not have to. I know how you feel. You are the same as I am, a worthless being. Only Togetsu can give us value. No, Watch out! What? Don't compare yourself to Kyoka. You're nothing more than a mere puppet. And yes, I do my fair share of worrying, but that's a far better way to live. It's better than being used all my life like you. Life is worth more when you make your own decisions. Kasane. It does not matter what you say. Your true nature does not change. You should be well aware of this. Yes, I know. I'm sure I'll be living scared the rest of my life, but that's fine. Kasane helped me realize that this fear is proof that I freed myself from my puppet strings. I control myself now. Whether I have Dr. Pope's memories or not, I'm still me. The moment I freely chose my own future, I became the individual Kyoka. I handed her over to the proper authorities in Suo. We should let the government take care of the Togetsu remnants. Now, that's that. How are you feeling? I'm still uneasy. But it's not bad now that I know it's a part of me. Do you remember that fortune teller?
I remember waiting in the long line.
I think the reason why fortune reading is so popular is because everyone is afraid of the future.
You think so?
Yes. Everyone takes each step forward carrying that worry with them. I'd love to have my future read. Let's make sure we actually go next time.
In other words, we have to wait in that long line again. I'm glad she feels better.
I wonder if Yuito's okay.
Does something smell funny, Shiden?
Yeah, Kyoka's cooking in the kitchen. I don't know what she's making, though.
Oh, I can hear her voice coming from the kitchen.
And I thought it would be quiet when everyone left. Go tell her to stop. She's just gonna make some noxious thing and try to feed it to us.
Why don't you go?
I don't want her making me taste it when I go in there. A wise man never courts danger.
Just tell her no if you don't want to taste it.
I would, but I just can't seem to resist her. What? Did that just come from the kitchen?
I wonder if something happened to her. Let's go check it out.
Whoa! What's with this smoke? Are you okay, Kyoka?
Oh, what's the matter? Did you come for a taste?
No. What was that sound?
Sorry for the racket. I got the salt a little wrong and the dish exploded.
I don't understand how that caused this. Anyway, what is this? Is it smoke or gas or...
I wanted to try a new flavor today, so I mixed a lot of spices together. It has a bit of a unique smell, but I think it'll be good if I simmer it a little longer.
Hey, Kasane, this gas is dangerous. My nose is tingling and my eyes hurt.
I'm getting dizzy too. This is definitely poisonous. We're all in danger. Kyoka, we need to get out of here.
What? I'm right in the middle of cooking. Are you in a rush?
Well...
Wait, that's it exactly. We need your help with an emergency. We'll explain later. Just come with us.
Oh, all right. I'll get ready right away.
Let's put a stop to this cooking now. Shiden, you take care of the ventilation.
It's no good. Even with the fan at full power, it isn't thinning out.
We should stay away from here until the hideout is fully ventilated.
It looks like we actually have to go out somewhere, like we told Kyoka.
Yeah. Why didn't you just tell the truth before?
No one would be happy to hear that their cooking is making poisonous gas.
You're right. Let's keep up this facade. Thanks, Shiden.
Why are you thanking me?
We didn't hurt her feelings, which is something I didn't even consider.
Let's just get out of the hideout. Being here is turning my nose inside out.
So what's this emergency? We came to Kikuchiba, but...
Yeah, I dropped my glasses around here. They're really important. Yeah, they were passed down from my grandmother.
Huh? Both of your grandmothers are alive, though.
How do you know that?
I'm your platoon commander. I know everything about my platoon. Just what is going on here?
You said they were your great-grandmothers, right, Shiden?
Yeah, I did. Those glasses were passed down to me from my great-grandmother on my father's side.
Oh, that's no good. But why were you walking around with something so precious?
Well, come on, don't sweat the details. Are you gonna help me look or not?
Of course I'll help. I always help my friends.
Oh. Yeah, thanks.
Leave it to me. I'm kind of happy that you'd come to me for help.
It is pretty rare for you to ask anyone for help.
I don't normally need any help, but this is an exception.
Don't be embarrassed. There's no shame in friends helping each other. Let's find them together.
Oh, I think we pulled it off. Why do I have to act like a con man?
It's for Kyoka. Let's stay in Kikuchiba until the hideout is ventilated.
Yeah, I know. Man, what a pain.
What are you two whispering about?
Nothing. Just that it will probably take a while to find the glasses.
Come on, you don't need to worry. We'll find them right away if all three of us look.
This is pretty good.
Push through. Attack with force.
I've got a nearby resource reading.
I see. We're saving our strength.
The attack hit the enemy's outer shell. You might be able to break it. If so, electrokinesis should work.
Help me, Gemma. Let's get rid of them. We'll corner it. Leave the rest to me.
Is electrokinesis useful? I guess you become useful.
I'll do it. It's over.
I trust you, Kasane.
Let's do this.
Useless. Checkmate.
It has a weak point on its back. Kasane, use SAS to get behind it. I confirmed a water attack. Are you okay? Deep blood makes it hard to move. The enemy is stunned. Now's the time. The shell is broken. Attack now. That seems to be the spot.
Please, Luca.
I'm counting on you.
Let's keep going.
I have it.
That was a good one.
Burn it down.
We were perfectly in sync.
We did it.
Glasses. I can't find them. Maybe I should use duplication to search more efficiently.
Relax. You don't need to be so serious about helping us.
How could you say that? You're my friend, my family. Kyoka's right.
It's over.
Take our time and look carefully.
This is what I see. Let's do this.
Don't fail.
Useless.
Is that it? Okay. Not quite as good as me, though.
right? Let's keep this going.
It's not over yet.
It dropped something rare.
You can trust me. Let's go, Kagero.
Shiden's electrokinesis might work.
Got it!
Aim for that spot quick.
Leave nothing!
Kasane,
I'll do it!
Take the lead! No match for me!
maybe the enemy is stunned and can't move.
Now's the time to use it!
I can't waste time. Let's keep going.
Track you down and kill you.
We did it.
Oh, what's that over there? Are those the glasses you mentioned?
What? Yeah. Those sure are glasses, but that filthy garbage isn't mine.
Wait, Shiden. The hideout should be ventilated by now. Let's tell her those are the ones and go back.
Do you want me to carry garbage? Fine. Now that I got a good look, these are definitely them. My precious gift from my great-grandfather.
I'm glad we found them. But didn't you say it was from your great-grandmother before?
His great-grandfather passed them to his great-grandmother. Right, Shiden?
Yeah, that's right. I found them thanks to you. That's all then. Let's go back.
You two are getting along well today. Nothing like when you first met.
I'm getting along with her? What makes you say that?
Seeing you two together today, I can see you're both really improving.
Both? You mean me, too?
Yes. Both of you are good people who can just be misunderstood sometimes. When you joined my platoon, I was worried every day whether you would fit in or not.
There's no need to worry. I'm not a child, and soldiers don't need to get along with each other.
That reminds me. You were like that when we met, too. Are you still in your rebellious phase?
I'm not in some phase!
Stop it. This is what worried me about you two. Don't fight right after I compliment you.
It's fine. We're not fighting, but you're right. I am getting along with him and everyone else much better now. I think it's because you've always watched over me.
You did nag me a lot. I guess being in Kyoka platoon wasn't that bad. It's probably the best platoon I've been in.
Shiden, I didn't know you felt that way.
It's a relative statement. Kodama platoon was the worst.
I'm still happy. So, shall we go back to the hideout?
Okay, looks like the gas is gone. What a pain that turned out to be.
We saved Kyoka's feelings, though. That's...
It looks like the hideout finished ventilating. Good work, you two.
Kyoka? What do you mean, ventilating? I don't know what you're talking about.
Shiden, stop trying to hide it. How did you figure it out?
You were whispering together the whole time. I kept my mouth shut because you were doing it for me.
Sorry for lying.
It's all right. I should apologize to you. I was so caught up in my cooking that I didn't realize you didn't like the smell.
The smell wasn't the only problem, but sure, we'll go with that.
I'll take this as a lesson learned and take a break from cooking for a while. I don't want my hobby to be a problem for you.
I don't think it was a problem. Nothing happened in the end.
But I don't like that I bothered my friends without realizing it.
How about Kasane and I keep watch when you cook? That should be fine.
Good idea. We can handle any problems before they arise.
Thank you both. That's a big help. Now you'll be watching over me.
Not because we want to, and I'm not tasting anything. Hey, wait. What are you doing?
I thought I'd make something to express my gratitude. First, I'll put in all the tasty-looking ingredients.
Stop! What are you putting in the pot? Hey, don't turn the stove on!
It looks like we have to keep a careful eye on her.
Oh, Kasane, come here a second. Your hair looks a little damaged.
My hair? I don't care about that.
You have to. Your hair is so pretty. Can I do it for you sometime?
You don't have to, but okay. Would you mind? It's a little weird that you worry about other people more than yourself. But it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
You're such a hard worker, Kasane. Don't push yourself too hard, though. Your health is top priority. Yeah, all right. Sometimes you really sound like you're my mother.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
The shell is broken. Aim for its weak spot. That seems to be the spot.
Beat it. I'll do it. Checkmate.
further. This'll be tricky. Yuito should be heading this way too. I'll weaken this thing until he joins me. Take out nearby enemies.
Yuito! SAS still seems to be down. That still didn't do it? I need to watch him closely to sync up with him when the time is right.
That was a close one.
It was? I wasn't really all that worried. I assumed you would act when you did.
I was nervous. I guess we can work together even without SAS.
I don't think I could have pulled it off with someone else. Thank you for getting the timing right.
It's nice to hear a compliment from you. You're always so harsh.
Am I? Well, whatever. Let's make our way to the top.
You get a good view of New Himuka from up here.
So what did you want to talk to me about?
I wanted to ask you about your plans after all the fighting is over.
That's a difficult question. How about you? What are you thinking?
I have a vague idea. It might be too grand, so you'll probably laugh.
I won't laugh, no matter what it is.
Thanks. I want to change the world.
Change the world?
Yeah. We've both seen a lot of bad things in this country. The world that we live in now is built on so much sadness and sacrifice.
That's true. Suo, Seiran, and Togetsu. There were people suffering everywhere.
So many people's lives were turned upside down because of the desire for the strongest power, or using powers to alter time. It's got to end. This world can't exist just for powers. That's why I want to change the world. To make it a place where people don't have to rely on powers for everything. I know it will take a long time, but I feel like as a dud, I'm the perfect person for it.
A dud, that's right. How's your head? They were saying you might lose your power.
No big change at the moment, but if it really comes down to it, I'm prepared to become one again.
You're pretty calm about it. The way you were talking, I thought you would be a little depressed.
I mean, it will be inconvenient, but you know what? I'm not the least bit afraid. I thought the same thing when the network went down. Like I was fighting back-to-back with you, even without SAS.
You thought the same thing?
I wonder if that's what it feels like to lose your power. We're not just connected by SAS. Even if we can't see each other's faces or hear each other's voices, the most important thing, our connection, doesn't go away. So I'll be all right.
That's good. When we first met, I honestly thought I wouldn't be able to count on you in a fight.
I kind of had a feeling you thought that.
But you're different now. I think you really can change the world.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. I'm relieved as well. I feel like I can leave this world to you.
Leave? What are you planning to do?
Well, I haven't decided on a clear goal yet, but I've sort of been thinking of something outside this world.
Like, outside of New Himuka? You mean the moon?
I've been thinking about it ever since I heard humanity came here from the moon. Outside this world is another world that I know nothing about. filled with people who are a mystery to me. They're suffering, just like the people here. They are attacked by others, and turning into them. Once I realized that, I couldn't ignore it. I thought maybe I could help somehow.
The moon. I thought I understood the first time I heard about it, but the scale is just too big. It doesn't seem real at all. I certainly never thought about saving the people that live there. You really are amazing.
I'm not amazing at all. I just don't want to regret neglecting the people I could have protected. My sister always watched over me. She protected me all my life. Now it's my turn to watch over someone else.
I always felt that you were the kind of person that would step up to protect people, even if you're alone. It's almost as if you're not afraid of anything. I looked up to you when I was a kid. I wanted to be just like you.
I think you're plenty like me. And you're giving me too much credit thinking I'm never afraid. As you said before, the most important connections never go away.
You mean Naomi?
Not just her. The memories of my mother, and the time I spent with all of you. The only reason I'm not as afraid as I should be is because I know they'll always be with me. I know that they'll always be here, inside my heart.
So, even if you're alone, you're never really alone? I kinda like that.
That's why I feel like I can go anywhere, even going beyond the sky. I know that sounds like a dream.
I think you can do it. No. I know you can.
Thank you.
So, it looks like you and I will be going our separate ways.
It won't just be us. I think everyone will find their own path and slowly drift farther apart.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said it didn't make me sad.
But even apart, we're still friends.
Yeah. Okay. We should probably get back to the hideout.
There's so much to do before and after a fight. We just have to take care of what's in front of us.
Though, listening to you made me excited for the future.
It won't be easy for either of us, so let's do our best. Both in our own places.
Absolutely. I promise I'll make a better future, no matter how long it takes.
You can take your time, but if you take too long, I'll bring peace to the moon and come back before you're done.
Oh, so it's a competition now. I know you hate to lose. Wait, I have something I wanted to give you. Here, will you accept this?
This is for me? This is an ear cuff. Did you make this?
Yeah. This ear cuff always protected me, so I wanted to give you something that would protect you, too. Oh, it doesn't have any memory-saving functions, but it can act as a good luck charm. Or rather, a charm to protect your memories.
Thank you. It's beautiful. I'll treasure it.
I'm glad you like it. I just really wanted to give it to you. You've been someone I admire. Both an ally and a friend. I can't sum it up in just one word. What I can say about you, though, is that there isn't anyone like you.
I guess it makes sense. You wouldn't have many friends who attempted to end your life.
You bring up a good point. Although, you did save my life when we first met. I guess that just happened for you, though.
You mean when you were a child? I can't believe you remember my face from so many years ago.
Yeah, I never forgot. I remember everything. It almost feels imprinted at this point. Something told me that this is the face of someone who would save me. That's how happy I was. It gives me strength whenever I think about it. It makes me believe that I have someone on my side out there. And I want to be that person for you. That's what I want you to think of when you look at that ear cuff. No matter where you are or what it is you're going through, I will always be on your side. And you can count on that.
Yes. I'll never forget that.
Okay. Well, I gave you everything I wanted to. Let's head back to the hideout now.
I'll go back a little later. You go on ahead.
Ah, got it. Then I'll see you back at the hideout.
Everything is so vast. The sky, the field. You can almost get lost in it. It's okay. I can do this. Wherever I am, even if I'm alone. Now, let's go.
I think that looks really good. Very nice.
Kasane, I want to ask you something. Can we talk at the Suo Cafe?
Sure, I don't mind. What do you want to talk about?
It's about Naomi. I'll give you the details when we get there.
So, you wanted to talk about my sister?
Do you remember this?
A Baki keychain. Right. I was here with Naomi.
Yeah. The cafe had a campaign for limited edition pair keychains. Naomi helped me get it.
Yes, I remember it well. She looked happy then. He wants to meet you alone at the cafe. I guess Yuito's more of a player than I thought.
It's not like that, Kasane. He asked for my help with the campaign the cafe is putting on. We're just pretending to be a couple so he can get the limited edition keychain.
You can't go alone, even if you're pretending. I still don't know if Yuito is right for you.
Oh, Kasane. Hey, look! Yuito's here!
Sorry. I asked you to come, but I'm late. Oh, you're here too, Kasane?
Yes. You don't have a problem with that, do you?
No, it's fine. It's just... I'm sorry for dragging you both along with me.
It's no problem at all. I was interested in those limited edition keychains too.
These campaigns are rough for fans who want all the goods. You're a lifesaver, Naomi. When I heard you were a Baki fan too, you were my only hope.
I'm glad I could help you.
I'm happy to have you as a fellow Baki fan. Oh, and as a fellow OSF member too.
Me too.
Naomi looks really happy. I don't think I've ever seen her like that. I don't understand it, but talking to Yuito is really special to her.
Oh, where are you going, Kasane?
I just remembered I have something to do. You two can get the keychains without me.
Okay, see you later. So, did you get the keychain from the Sumeragi tomb fortune?
Yes! I went there with Kasane, so...
I'm only spying because I'm worried. It doesn't seem like Yuito is trying to get close to her. I wonder if he's only after the keychain. He doesn't seem to know how Naomi feels yet.
Kasane, I knew you were still around.
Naomi, how did you know? Did you use precognition?
I don't need precognition. I know you. You're so kind. And you worry. You left the cafe for me, didn't you?
Yes. I'm still not sure about Yuito, but I thought you'd be happier alone with him.
Yeah, thanks.
I liked talking to him. And we got our keychains. He was so cool. I want to know so much more about him.
You can't meet him alone until I decide he's right. That was a one-time thing.
You're so strict. But thanks for always thinking of me.
We're sisters. Of course I worry.
Yeah, I always worry about you too. I wish you would make more friends.
I don't need any friends but you.
That's not true. I know that Yuito and the people in your platoon will help you. You might be strangers now, but if you get to know each other, it'll be just like how you and I are.
Like you and me? That's impossible.
It's not impossible. Even the two of us didn't know each other when we first met.
Well, if you say so, I'll give it a try.
Good. Just act like you were tricked. I'll be cheering you on.
She was right. I got to know Yuito and everyone else, and they've all helped me. Naomi really did know everything about me.
What's wrong, Kasane?
Oh, I was just thinking about something. So, what's with the keychain?
I was wondering what happened to Naomi's keychain. If you have it, would you take mine as well?
Why? I thought you wanted all the limited edition Baki goods you could get.
I thought that at first. But this is part of a pair. It's kind of depressing only having one without the other. I thought that it would make Naomi happy if you had them both.
Oh. I understand how you feel, but I don't know what happened to hers. Naomi always had it on her, but I haven't seen it since what happened at the abandoned subway.
Oh, right. A keychain would be the furthest thing from your mind.
Yeah. Maybe she dropped it and it's still there.
If you wouldn't mind, why don't we look for it together?
In the abandoned subway? Well, I'd like to find it if we can, but it'll be so dark we won't be able to see it.
The keychain might help with that. It has a little gimmick. When one gets closer to the other, the belly lights up when you push on it. I can't guarantee we'll find it, but what do you say?
It's worth a shot. I don't like leaving my sister's things out there.
Okay, then let's head to the abandoned subway.
If the keychain is here, it'll be up ahead. We're going back there again.
I can go and look for it alone.
It's fine. I'll look with you. It is my sister's keepsake, after all.
Okay, let's go. Together.
It's around here. Yuito, use the keychain.
Yeah, I'll try it. If it lights up...
Oh, it lit up. Naomi's keychain must be around here somewhere.
Okay, let's take a good look around. Hers should light up at the same time this one does.
I can't find it. It should be really close by.
Yuito, look! I saw a light over there.
Whoa! Wait, Kasane! Others!
We're so close, too. Let's take care of these things.
Roger that. We're bringing Naomi's keychain home.
Let's go, Kagero.
That other... is it the one we're supposed to take down?
enemy is attacking with electricity. You'll be shocked and unable to move if it hits you.
Concentrate!
It's down. Let's finish it.
Focus the attack. Let's do this. Let's get rid of them.
Keep it up. It's hard to move when you're wet. Hang in there.
Not yet.
The attacks to the outer shell are working. I'll try to break it. The shell is broken. Attack now.
I guess I'm getting better.
This is pretty good.
I'm counting on you.
The two of us can do this!
You'll need to break its outer shell. Kasane, use your psychokinesis and hit it with something heavy. Was that oil?
Useless. It's over.
It'll be hard to move if it gets on you, so be careful.
This will hurt. We'll corner it.
Let's do this.
Oil. Watch out for fire. The attack hit the enemy's outer shell. You might be able to break it.
I trust you, Kasane.
Let's do this.
Let's regroup.
There's nowhere to run. We did it. Good.
The enemy shell is broken. Kasane, now's the time to attack.
Now,
Struggling won't work.
Let's keep going.
Sonic!
Naomi's keychain was here the whole time.
I'm glad we found it.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was gone.
Now they're a pair again. Here, take mine.
I'm sure Naomi liked this keychain so much because Yuito had the same one. Then... I just can't accept it. Do you mind if we each keep one?
Why? We have both of them now.
That one is yours, and... I want you to have something to remember Naomi by.
Oh, all right. I'll take good care of it then. You must know so many things about Naomi that I don't.
Yeah, we lived together for years. What makes you say that all of a sudden?
I didn't get to talk to her much. We were only alone when we got the keychains. I was just thinking I should have talked to her. Got to know her better, you know?
She said something like that before. What did you talk about at the cafe?
Oh, I actually just talked about Baki the whole time.
That's good, though. She looked like she was having fun.
That's a relief. People tend to make fun of me when I tell them that I like Baki. Naomi listened to all I had to say. Really listened. It was nice. I thought she was great.
What did you expect? She's my sister. She's the greatest.
Yeah, you're right.
Yuito, you said you wanted to know Naomi better. Why don't I tell you what I know about her?
I'd love to hear it. But it's not like you to say something like that.
Really? I wanted you to know just how great a sister Naomi was. Just so you know, it will take a while. There's a lot I want to say.
Sure. I've got the time.
Thank you. Now, Where to begin?
Kasane, are you feeling all right?
I feel fine. No, I don't need to lie to you. I actually have a bit of a headache. You're the only one who noticed.
That's because I always keep an eye on you. Are you okay? You don't have to act tough with me.
Has anyone ever told you you're easily misunderstood? It took me a while to understand you.
Naomi said that to me. Everyone that knows me well says it too. I don't really see it though.
Hey, can you guys help me? It's an emergency.
Emergency? What happened?
You know I run a Septentrion fan site, right? It's pretty well known.
This is the first I'm hearing about it.
Oh, I think you told me about it before. I haven't checked it out yet. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Actually, the site has an exclusive paid membership service. Once a month, they get exclusive information on the Septentrions, or some rare footage.
Exclusive information? Isn't that against military regulations?
I'm not leaking classified information. I make sure I get permission first, like asking what their hobbies are or favorite foods.
Oh, I see. So useless trivia.
Hey, it's called premium fan information. Anyway, I'm having trouble getting those interviews. I mean, Luca and Major General Fubuki both seem busy, so I thought I would interview you both as a backup plan.
Us? Won't your fan site members get mad having two rookies instead of Septentrions?
Don't worry about that. You two draw a lot of attention. There are tons of members who want to see your faces.
I'll pass. It doesn't interest me at all.
Don't be like that. I think it would be good for the two of you.
What do you mean?
Well, I said you draw a lot of attention, but it's not actually all that good. In Suo, they still view Kasane as an assassin, and the government still decries Yuito as a traitor.
I guess people don't know who we've been fighting, or why.
Yeah, you look around Cynet and you see all these rumors and speculations. It's irritating when you know the truth. So, I thought we could use this opportunity to get the people of New Himuka to understand the real you.
I didn't know you were so considerate, Wataru.
Of course, there's something in it for me, too. Anyway, what do you say?
I appreciate the sentiment, but I don't care if strangers have the wrong impression of me. As long as the people close to me understand, that's all that matters. I mean, I was able to clear up the misunderstanding with all of you.
I'm not surprised to hear you say that, but I think he has a point. Right now, the people in the city are lost and scared. They don't know what's right or wrong.
Yeah, The forum on our site is a mess, day in and day out. Everyone's anxious because there's no information.
So, I think we can tell them what they need to know to help relieve some of that anxiety.
Okay, I'll do what I can.
Great. I'll get the camera set up. Meet me in the training room. Hey there, everyone! We have a change of plans today. Here with me are the two rising stars of the OSF. It's Yuito Sumeragi and Kasane Randall. First, say hello to the audience.
Hello. Nice to meet you. I'm Yuito Sumeragi.
Cut! Kasane, could you at least say something? And Yuito, loosen up a little.
You want me to say something? Okay.
Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Okay, I'm all good now.
Let's just keep it nice and relaxed. Okay, one more time. Start with your greeting. Ready? Action!
Hello.
At least that's something. Okay, you're up next, Yuito.
I'm Yuito Sumeragi. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me today.
It's nice to have some fresh faces. Now, I want to ask you two about the current situation in the world. There are many rumors flying around. Is there something you want to say directly to our audience?
Not really.
I see. What about you, Yuito?
I think everyone is confused, and I've been so focused on the matters at hand. I understand that you don't know who to trust, but the situation should calm down eventually.
Yuito is taking this so seriously. Maybe I should add something. We are taking steps to remedy the situation, so we would like to ask you all to remain calm and patient.
All right! That was pretty good, you two. I'll keep asking more questions. Cut! Anyway, that's all the indoor filming for now. Next, I'll film you fighting some others outside.
Do you really need a fight scene?
Of course. Fans want to see the OSF kicking butt.
I guess showing ourselves fighting the others will make it more apparent that we're the good guys.
Okay. I'll leave it to you, Wataru.
Thanks. Let's head over to Mizuhagawa then. I just saw there was an other forecast. I'm sure we'll get some good footage. All right, there are tons of others, just as forecasted. I suppose it's nothing to celebrate, but it's good news for us.
I never would have imagined fighting others for a video back when I first enlisted.
Well, it's not so bad since we're taking them out. Let's just do our best as usual.
Exactly. Watch out, they're closing in. I'll leave it to you.
Should I worry about how I fight, too? Like, how the fight looks?
Fail.
Let's go, Joker.
Just fight like you normally would. I'll spruce up the footage afterwards. Oh, I'm not gonna put anything fake in there. I'll just add some music and live commentary.
I'll do it!
Live commentary. I guess everyone has their own hobbies.
I confirmed a water attack. Are you okay? Being wet makes it hard to move. Damage to outer shell confirmed. Break it! Aim.
Useless. It's over.
That's fine.
Help me, Shiden.
The enemy is attacking with electricity. You'll be shocked and unable to move if it hits you.
We can do it now!
We did it.
That was quick.
Let's get rid of them. Leave the rest to me. Let's go, Kyoka.
The enemy is done. Now's the time.
Useless.
Now, Kasane! Let's go!
That seems to be the spot.
Wake up! We're not stopping!
I trust you, Kasane.
He's nothing!
Useless. It's over.
The two of us can do this!
The shell is broken. Aim for its weak spot.
Check. More power.
The attack hit the enemy's outer shell. You might be able to break it.
Useless. It's over.
Let's go!
It's working. Focus on that
Got it.
spot.
You can trust me.
Good job, Kasane. The enemy lost sight of us.
Useless. Check.
Great job.
Let's go,
That was a
Kyoka.
good move.
I'll follow up.
If I get the timing right, I might be able to use the construction.
Got it.
Listen around here for an attack.
Out of the way.
I trust you!
You got this.
I'll pull you out.
Great job. That was a good move.
I'll do it. Check. Now.
The attacks to the outer shell are working. I'll try to break it.
This is it.
The shell is broken. Attack now.
Useless.
I can help. Great job. That was a good move.
I have no other choice.
I'll crush you with my field. There's nothing you can do. Give up!
Let's keep going. Got it. Check.
Track you down and kill you.
Got it. Check.
The trash needs to be taken out. Track you down and kill you. There's nothing you can do. Give up!
That should be enough combat footage. Good work, you two.
So we're done with all the filming?
Well, I got most of what I need, but I feel like we're lacking a bit of punch.
Punch, huh? It's hard to draw people's attention.
I know! How about a cool pose to finish things up? We can have the city in the background.
Is that really necessary?
It's a PR tactic. We're gonna push you as the heroes to get rid of your bad image.
So you want to put up a front?
I suppose that's true. Let's do it if we need to.
That's the spirit. Don't worry, just stand there and I'll edit it to look good.
You said that earlier.
Like this? Oh, this is more embarrassing than I thought.
Not bad. All right, you're up next, Kasane.
How's this?
You're standing there like a statue. Can't you strike a pose?
Your instruction is too abstract. You told me I could just stand here.
I mean, I did, but... Okay, fine. I guess this fits your personality. All right, we're done filming. You saved my sight. Thanks, you two.
Show me the video when it's done. I wish I did better with the greeting.
You really care about this video, don't you? You took it so seriously.
Well, I've been thinking about something.
What?
Remember how I told you I wanted to change the world one day? You know, back in Kikuchiba.
Yes, I remember. You want the world to be less dependent on powers.
Right. I've thought about it more since then. If I'm going to change the world, then I need to change myself first. Like I'll need to be able to communicate better, and move people if I want to change our society.
That could be true. I never really gave it much thought.
And I'm just starting to. That's why I thought making this video would be good practice. Actually doing it made me realize that it's not that easy.
You can start learning how to do it now. I mean, you trained to be able to use your powers, so maybe it'll be like that.
That's true. I'll give it another try. I want to be able to improve, even if the progress is slow.
You guys are blazing your way towards the future. I should have recorded this conversation. As Kasane said, we can take what we learned and apply it to the next video. We'll keep making more, Yuito.
What? We're doing this again? I mean, I'm grateful, but isn't it a Septentrion fan site?
Increasing the scope could boost membership. Besides, if we can get you more fans, that's a win-win.
You've planned everything. Well, I'll help if there's anything I can do.
Oh, you'll do it again? It'd be great if you could talk a little bit more next time.
I was talking to Yuito. I'm never doing another video.
What? Come on, don't be like that.
Thanks, Kasane. I'm counting on you.
Sure, just leave it to me.
I think I told you before, but I want to be like Baki.
Yeah, you did. You'll support me just like Baki, right?
Yeah, but now, I want to be even better. I don't know how to put it. I want to be reliable. I'll help you whenever you're in trouble.
You mean... No, never mind. That's very encouraging.
I'm always on your side, no matter how far apart we are.
It's nice just hanging out with you, even in silence. I never would have expected this when we first met.
Yeah, it's kind of like air, I think. You just expect it to always be there. It's kind of strange.
Feel like swapping what we float? It could be fun.
Maybe. Do you think it's safe? Your plushie is way more fragile than my wood carvings.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Never mind then.
A resource read. You're here.
You feel more comfortable with someone you're familiar with? That's fine with me.
It might be a good idea to talk to anyone who looks like they have a request for us. Kasane, you should keep what I just gave you. It should come in handy.